Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us tonight on another episode of Connersville Speaks. We have a very special program for you tonight. We have the Wayzata company that just recently opened in the old Vistion building. We have several of their executives with us, and I have my good friend Dan Parker, the new exec down at Economic Development. And I told Dan, I said, I want you to be down there and help us with this program. He's been doing a great job. So I want to get right into this. We got a lot to cover tonight. I have on my right over here Tim Milio, and Tim and I go back about a year now, maybe a little longer, and we become really good friends. At least I tell him that. And he's been here, and he's the guy that set this place up. We have Jay right next to him, and I don't even know Jay's last name. What's your last name, Jay?
Swenson, Jay Swenson.
Swenson, okay. Yeah. Am I saying it right?
Swenson, yeah.
Swenson.
Yes.
Oh, Finnish.
Scandinavian.
Scandinavian.
Norwegian.
Yeah, that's where my great-grandparents came from, yeah. And then we have another Dan on the end. We're going to call him Dan 1. Dan 1, where did you come from?
Are you talking to me, Dan?
Yeah,
1?
Dan 1.
Well, because it is Dan Jones, but nobody ever really celebrates my Latino heritage because it's pronounced Jones.
Okay, we'll go Dan 1.
But I am Finnish.
Oh, are you?
I am,
okay.
50%. Yeah.
Okay, well, I used to have a Finnish girlfriend. Her name was Marianne Kiiskinen.
Kiiskinen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her mother couldn't speak English, and boy, we had a good time.
Well, I wound up with Jones with a Welsh mother. So.
And then, on the other hand, we have Dan Parker. We'll call him Dan 2 tonight. But we want to get right into this. I know people are interested in all about this. And Tim, what I want to talk about is the first day that you and I met. And I'm going to bring back your memory a little bit. It had rained in Connersville for about 5 days and 5 nights, and it was a little cold. And the plant had been empty, and we didn't want to turn the lights on because it cost too much. It cost about $3,000 to $4,000 every time we turned the lights on. So Jay, the site consultant, brought you down here, Jay Walters. Mm-hmm. And how did you get up with Jay? Andy hired him?
Andy hired him to look for some locations for us in Indiana and do some scouting for us, and to also sort of analyze what the business environment was in Indiana.
So Jay notified us, short notice, 2 days I think he was coming down. We didn't have time to do much of anything, but we did put a nice lunch together, and we prayed a little bit, and we took Jay and Tim up to the plant. It was dark, it was cold. And as Tim, if he remembers, described it, you could take a shower most any place in it.
Yep. It's pretty
well, anyway,
true.
we toured that plant that day, and mostly with flashlights, and it was horrible. I was so embarrassed. But anyway, we went down and we had this lovely lunch. And after lunch, I was sitting up here, and we went all the way around the table up to Tim. And said, Tim, your turn to speak. And he turned to all of us, and you know how he is. He kind of looked around and he said, well, let me say your plant didn't show real well today. Your heart kind of sunk. And we swallowed. You kind of got a roof leak up there, like the whole roof. And he was very gracious about it. And we went on. We didn't let that bother us. We went on trying to sell him on Connersville, and kept talking to him. And Jay now tells me that Tim was pretty discouraged. But as they drove back to Indianapolis, Tim looked at, and if I'm not telling it right, you tell me, because Jay told me this. He said, you know, those are nice people. Maybe we could make it work. And so we didn't hear from Tim or anybody for a week or so, and Tim calls. And he says, or maybe it was Jay that called and said, Andy's going to come down. Andy is the owner of the company, CEO we'd call him, or
yes. Top
man, top dog. And I guess Tim went back to Minneapolis and said to Tim, or to Andy, it's pretty rough, but it's good size. Maybe we could make it work. And Andy says, well, maybe we could make it work. So about 2 weeks, Andy came down. We were prepared this time. Let me tell you, it hadn't rained for a week. We got our street sweeper in there, and we swept that dude up. We turned the lights on. We did everything we could, and we put on the finest lunch for Tim and Andy and whoever else came with him. And we made a little better showing. And then we had to sit and wait. And I never will forget, I was in the airport at Dayton, flying up to the UP of Michigan. And my cell phone went, and it was Andy. And he said, if we can get this done quick, I think we're going to do it. And boy, was I excited. But I was leaving on a little vacation. So I cut the vacation short, came home, and we started getting ready. And it took a long time. It took longer than Andy wanted it to take. It took longer than Tim. But we finally got everything together, and we got that building transferred. What time of year, Tim, did we get it transferred? October?
Well, I think we transferred in October, but we actually, with your cooperation, started on
Right.
it before that. So.
Right. And from then on, that's where we're picking up the story tonight. Who is Wayzata Home Products? Tell me who they are.
We are kitchen cabinet, bathroom vanity manufacturers. We are, as a matter of fact, I should probably let Jay answer that. That would be better.
Who are we, Jay?
So, as Tim said, we're a cabinet manufacturer, and we sell primarily into kitchens, but also some vanities. We sell through a couple channels. We sell through dealer channels, but our primary way to get to market is through clickstudios.com, which is a direct-to-consumer channel. We sell directly to individuals. We've realized that people don't buy cabinets the way they used to. They are very informed, and they want to buy directly from the manufacturer and get those savings for themselves.
And you make a real quality cabinet that you really can buy for less money because there's no middleman, selling directly from the manufacturer. When I first heard this, I had been through a kitchen remodel in 2010, and I knew how painful that was. This didn't come in, and that didn't come in, and it didn't work, and didn't fit, and wasn't what my wife wanted. So I thought, oh, how do they do this on the internet? So we began to get on the internet and see how you measure and how you do these things. And it really isn't as difficult as you think, is it?
It's not. We have great designers that get on the phone with
Now, when you say
customers.
designers, those are human beings that you can talk to.
Designers, yeah. We have lots of them, and they love design kitchens. This is all they do all day long. And they get on the phone, they get on the computer, they share their screen, and they figure out what the customer wants, and then they design the exact kitchen that meets their needs. And they go back and forth a few times, but the designers are really the key, and they help the customer measure the room, figure out the other materials, the floors, the backsplashes, the counters, all the pieces that are going to be part of their kitchen. They give them a little guidance on all those things. They say, you know, have you thought about doing this? Have you tried that? And what we end up with is a better kitchen for the consumer. In fact, we should cue up that Click Experience video.
Okay, let's do that. We have Joy back in the back room, and she's instructing John. Go ahead and cue it up for us. But glad you brought that up, Jay. That's a good idea. Might take a few seconds, folks, so
All right.
stand by. Here we go.
Taking your kitchen or bath from outdated to outstanding may seem complicated, but our professional design staff makes it easy and will help guide you step by step through the design process. You can begin by ordering free samples to get a hands-on feel of the quality and beauty of our product. Or jump right into planning your space. Our measure guide and how-to measure video takes the guesswork out of measuring your kitchen so we can begin designing your space. Once we have all your measurements, we'll create a design that complements your wants and needs. When complete, we'll send you a custom detailed design package that includes a floor plan, elevation drawings, full color perspective renderings, and an itemized quote. Depending on the complexity of your space and requirements, you can expect a design in as little as 2 to 4 business days. After you've had the opportunity to review the layout and function, let your designer walk you through the design plans with the help of our screen sharing technology. If you see something you'd like to change, just ask, and the designer can do it live on your screen. Plus, you can do it from the comfort of your home or at your office. Our kitchen designers have many years of experience and each have worked on hundreds of projects. Click Studios selects the top designers in the industry for their creative design ability, industry knowledge, communication skills, and great customer service. The best way to judge our free design service is hearing from our customers. Be sure to check our review section, and you can also see Click Cabinetry on the HGTV and DIY network shows Kitchen Crashers, House Crashers, and The Ultimate Crash. Schedules are posted on our website. After your design is complete and you've made your purchase, your order will take 2 weeks to build and 2 weeks to ship to your home. So get started today and let Click Studios transform your space from ordinary to extraordinary.
That was great. I mean, that explains the whole thing, doesn't it? And that's what people get to see. Yeah.
Yeah, we made that because people thought, could I really spend thousands of dollars on a product I've never seen? And yes, when they see that, they think, okay, yeah, I could. And we'll send them a sample of their door so they know what kind of quality they're going to get. They can match the color and see if it's the right. We'll send them another one if they need to. And it helps get them over those hurdles.
Yeah. And when you finally get settled on the kitchen they're going to get, then you price it right then and there.
Yeah.
They know what the price is there.
We're completely transparent in our pricing.
That's great.
In fact, we throw out a challenge to anyone to send us a quote because we know we win every time.
Yeah. That's just great. In just a little bit we're going to go into quality, but I got a few more questions here. You had this factory up in Minnesota and it was going great. All of you were up there. Everybody was happy. Why did you want a new factory?
We pretty much reached the capacity of our facility up there. We actually had 2 facilities, one warehouse and some warehousing and manufacturing, and there just wasn't any room for us to grow. We also thought that by moving we could get some logistical benefits, so we started looking around.
Mm-hmm. And there's definitely some logistical benefits here. We're close to Dayton, Indianapolis, Chicago, right in the middle of the Midwest, and I forget, we've got it all figured out how many million people are right around us here. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, one of the biggest things was our product expansion. I mean, just in the next 6 months, because of moving here, we're going to be able to expand our product offering about 30% in a very short time period, and we just didn't have that capability up in Minnesota.
Oh, what did you like about the facility? I know all the things you didn't like because you made them clear to me. But what did you like about the facility?
Well, it's the location is good. The size of the facility, of course, allows for our future expansion without having to move again. That was a big consideration. And other than that, it was just sort of location and the people we looked at that made it appealing for us.
Okay. You already told us that you took over earlier in October. We actually got the building transferred to you in October, but you had a jump start on it. You'd been at it about 6 weeks by that time, remodeling. It was a tremendous job just to get ready for this first phase, wasn't it?
It was a huge undertaking, yes.
I know, I watched you go through that. You already told me when the first cabinet was shipped. When did you tell me you shipped the first cabinet? You told me before we went on the air, I think.
Second week in March, actually.
Second week in March. So that you didn't do bad. You really wanted to ship in February, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. But we had a few, of course, with a building that size, you always have a few surprises here and there. So.
Okay. Well, other than you found the mayor charming, how did you find the people of Connersville? Don't laugh, guys. I'm an old man, you know. I deserve a little slack here.
Actually, I thought it was great. I had gone around, and of course, since then I've spent enough time here to meet a lot of people, and I found everybody to be very positive and very welcoming. Everybody very interested in getting the facility up and going again. So I think the people were a huge part of our decision making.
Okay. We're excited because you're creating jobs here for us. And what types of jobs are you creating? Are they carpenter jobs, or give us a little hands-on here? We have
a number of different positions there. We have picking, warehousing positions, milling and machining positions. We have a finishing room that we have a number of positions in. Then there's also our assembly lines and then of course shipping and our office staff and our management staff.
So you got just kind of a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, and that's just great. I think that Dan touched a little bit on what's going to make it grow as you go into different products. And who decides what products you're going to go into?
It's a combination of things. It's basically the designers are a big influence because they're hearing direct from the customers. And that relationship alone, again, selling direct, getting the voice of the customer right to us on what they want, what's hot, what's not. And then the next step is what can we do and what's the timeline? And Tim is a big part of that, saying, well, we can't do everything we want today, but what can we do? And Tim then specs out the product. We identify the colors, the stylings, and try to find the niches that the other other competitors in the market aren't filling, especially at our cabinet price point.
Well, every time I'm up there, I see the huge bunches of boxes ready to be shipped. And I know at first Tim told me that you were a little behind, but I think you're right on schedule now, aren't you?
We're all caught up, back on schedule, and
Yeah.
performing. Yeah.
Isn't that great? When consumers shop online, what are they looking for? I mean, it's a young consumer or a middle-aged consumer? Or?
You'd be surprised. It's probably right smack in where every single company and advertiser, the 25 to 54-year-old audience. It's really is. There is, if you've got money and you're looking to remodel your kitchen, it really doesn't matter what age you are. And I want to enhance the designer experience because that designer really is there for you, no matter what level. If you've never remodeled your kitchen, if you don't know what you're doing, or you have done it 3 times, that designer will help you through that process.
When I call in there or I email in there, you assign a designer to me and I work with that designer.
Exactly. That's
So
exactly
your own
right.
personal designer.
That's correct.
And if you go to a lumber yard to buy a cabinet, you see John on Monday and you see Mary on Tuesday and maybe Fred might be there Friday and nobody Saturday morning.
Well, with the large home improvement retailers, that's probably what you're
And
going to
your
see.
hours are long on that. Tell me about your hours that you can dial in there and talk to those people.
8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for most days
Yeah.
on Central Standard Time. So
Yeah.
we'll open a little later for the East Coast folks, which is
Yeah.
a benefit to them.
And you're closed on Saturday and Sunday?
Open Saturday from 8 to 5 and then closed on Sundays. Yes,
Closed
sir.
on Sundays. Well, that's great. Why are so many people wanting to remodel their kitchen? I lived in the Upper Peninsula. My dad built the kitchen. We lived with that most of our life. We thought it was great. Of course, we only had 1 bathroom and 5 boys, too. We thought that was fine. Why are they remodeling their kitchen? Everybody wants to remodel their kitchen.
Yeah, take it, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah, the average kitchen gets remodeled about every 20 years. It gets dated, it gets
You're
worn.
right on that. 20 years.
It's yeah, and I think right now is really a good time because the economy's coming back, and when the economy goes down, we didn't see as many remodels, and so there's a little bit of pent-up demand, and so we've been seeing the last couple of years above average growth in kitchen remodels, and it's been good. And styles are changing too, and so people are looking to have just a fresher look.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, Dan.
One of the biggest things that's really generating the remodels, again, Jay's correct, but it really is opening up the room, knocking out walls.
Yeah.
And
Open concept.
Previous 20 years, they just wanted to make their kitchen larger and leave the walls in place, maybe move the walls. Now it's just get rid of them, and open concept is correct.
Yeah.
The kitchen really is become part of the family / great room, whatever you call that space.
It's where you spend a lot of time,
It
in the
is.
bedroom and the kitchen.
Yep.
And you know what? If you asked me that question, which you didn't, I'd say every woman wants a granite top. It used to be at a Formica top. I remember when it used to be a metal top, but they want granite or quartz or something like that. I think that drives a lot of it. So we aren't going to put that on the old cabinets. We're going to get new cabinets.
Correct.
Now, say we put new cabinets in, we bought them from Click Studios and everything, but we can't get a granite top from it, can we? Yet.
We deal with cabinets, the designing of that cabinets. That's correct. We'll be more than happy to offer advice on solid surface countertops or anything else that can go with your kitchen. Our designers know what they're doing. They can help you with it.
Would they send me to a place to buy granite tops? Or
Yes, probably local, regionally is your best bet, as always, with that type of heavy.
would they know that?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we're on a national level, so we sell nationally to everywhere in parts of Canada also. So.
Okay. We're going to look at that cabinet in just a little bit. We're going to pick it apart. But what a lot of people have said to me, well, how do you get the thing? Well, I said, I suppose they drive up in your yard and put it on your front porch. And that's just about what you do, isn't it?
That is correct.
And so tell us how logistically you can do that if you sell one in Albany here and you want to send one in here and here. How do you do that?
One of the biggest reasons why we're here is in Connersville, Indiana, because of
Tim's related
the
to those
geography.
logistics.
Yep. But basically, it's pretty simple. We build the kitchen, put it in a boxes, put it on a truck. That truck is going to come to you directly, or if you have a unique situation, apartment building, something like that, we'll put it in a smaller truck, transfer it to a smaller truck, and it gets put into your garage or porch and or living room, depending on what your needs are. There is some additional fees for out of the ordinary, so if you're on the 30th story of some apartment building or on the top of a mountain. And we have delivered to tops of mountains. We had a home that was actually built into a cave, and the big glass front entry, and it was a heck of a time figuring out how to get their kitchen there, but we got it there.
Isn't that something? You can buy about anything on the internet, including kitchen cabinets. Yeah, I know if I would have had you guys, if I'd have met Tim in '08 instead of, what was it, Tim, 13, 12, I could have saved a whole bunch of money on that kitchen of mine and got a better kitchen. And you know what I want us to do, Dan? We got us a kitchen cabinet over here. I want to walk over there and look at that.
All right.
Let's do that. I want you to let me see if I can see any difference. I built a hotel here in town. I built some houses, and as I said, I remodeled my kitchen, so I know a little bit about kitchen cabinets.
Sure.
Probably enough to be dangerous. But I'm going to pick this apart.
All right.
Okay?
You go ahead.
Okay. Now, this is the front drawer. This is a 30-inch drawer or cabinet.
It's a 24-inch cabinet
20.
with butt doors. So one of the key features, and this is why I kind of hung that door open, sorry to interrupt you, but is that there's no middle stile. So you got a completely open cabinet all the way up to 36 inches wide.
Okay.
So back to your drawer.
One thing I noticed earlier is, I don't know, Sydney, if you can get over here, but it's dovetailed in the front.
Dovetail joint.
And I've seen some dovetailed in the front, but most of them aren't. They're glued or tacked.
Tacked, glued, stapled, particle board, but we offer a dovetail.
Dovetailed in the back.
All four corners, dovetail front and back. We have 5/8 hardwood drawer box and 1/4-inch plywood bottom, caught, stapled, glued on all four sides, so there's no shifting of that drawer box.
Watch this. Just watch this. Look at that. No slamming of the door.
Standard feature, self-closing feature.
On every cabinet?
Every cabinet. This comes with the cabinet. That's not an upgrade. Same with the hardwood dovetail drawer box. And they call it anti-slam silent system, but my favorite thing to do is just put my fingers right down here and we'll just see how good that works. So,
yeah.
Now either I have a high pain tolerance or our product works really well.
I watched it. I watched it.
No tricks here.
Watching.
All right.
Okay, the other thing I noticed is you don't ever get plywood sides. You know what I've noticed? They take a piece of particle board and they print grain on it and finish it. Print it on there.
That is correct.
Yeah. You actually have plywood sides, backs.
All the entire box, all plywood box. There is no engineered particle board, MDF, whatever you want to call it, in our
You see that, Sydney? Isn't that
box.
great? Look at here. And here's another thing. I have some of the cabinets that I've taken out of different houses I remodeled and things. I've hung them on the barn wall down at the farm, and I put screws and stuff.
Sure.
You know what happens in about a year? They go like this.
Start to sag.
You know why? Because the little plastic things here that are stapled here come off.
Yep, corner gussets.
Yeah, and
Yep.
look what you've got. You've got almost a timber down through there.
We use our same half-inch plywood, call it I-beam construction. Some people know it as stretchers, where it's totally captured on all three sides, really four because there's two I-beams on each side. And again, it's glued, it's totally captured with dado joints, and it's also pinned from the outside of the cabinetry in. And again, standard features. This is no upgrades on this entire cabinet.
Okay, I don't know what you would upgrade to this cabinet, to be honest with you.
That's the point
I
we're
want
trying
to go back,
do.
and another thing I noticed, what great hinges. What do you call those dudes?
Well, they're a full overlay hinge.
Watch this.
Covering the whole thing.
See, look at how nice that closes. Did you see that, Sydney? Look at that.
And it's with everybody else, with hinges, with you, so you tend to use the same cabinet more often than others. They will come out of alignment, and we make it really easy. It's actually a 6-way adjustable hinge where there's multiple screws to make it very easy to adjust your
If
doors.
it did, you can just take your screwdriver
Exactly.
and just
Pop your
adjust it.
screwdriver in to maintain your alignment on that.
Yeah. Now, I've been up there enough, I got to confess, that I know there's all kinds of different finishes, but you'll custom finish a cabinet.
Right. We start off with there's stain finishes, there's paint finishes.
Our standard 10 process catalyzed varnish top coat paint, it's one of the best in the industries. Hand sanded, all this fun stuff. But we do some custom colors, and we call them our designer colors. So you can get a barn red, you can get tea leaf, you can get what we call carbon, which is black. So there are some really unique options that you're just not going to find out there at our affordable price point.
Yeah. Now, say that my wife wants a slide-out slide to put the pots and pans on.
You bet.
That's an upgrade?
Yep, you can add it. It's just it's an add-on.
It's available?
Yep, it's available.
Okay. What about putting something in the drawer to put your silverware in here?
Yep.
You got those
Again,
too?
components come in with the drawer insert dividers. We have 3 different types, including a knife block, utensil, and/or just knives, forks, spoons, dividers.
Okay. Well, that's something. I can't lift much. I'm an old man. Pretty heavy.
It's heavy, but it's about half the weight of engineered wood.
Yeah,
and that's something when you're talking about hanging cabinets on walls. And that cabinet's got to support.
Particle board.
Yeah, you're talking about particle board.
This is plywood. This isn't particle board.
Yep.
This is plywood. That means lots of plies are put together.
So
yeah.
You've got actually a cabinet. Yeah, it's built like a tank, but it's still about half the weight of engineered particle board. So, and then again, the whole key is we're offering a standard construction plywood box. Most of these features that we've talked about right now are considered upgrades. 10% for this, 10% for that, 15% for that.
This is a standard. This is a standard cabinet. So this is what you'd get if you just bought standard, and you can upgrade, you can do all these other things. So I'm really proud. This is made right here in Connersville, Indiana. A homegrown product, you can get it. Now, I've had a lot of people in town ask me, they go on the internet and they measure their kitchen and they buy it and they live in Connersville. Can they come pick it up, or are you going to bring it to their door? What's going to happen?
We're going to bring it to the door because we have actually free delivery, so there's really no reason for them to come down.
Or every place?
Every place we have free delivery. So if you've got basically your standard home that's sitting down there.
Just wait a minute.
Yes, sir.
If I'm in Schenectady, New York,
yes, sir,
and you're going to deliver it free, and I'm in Connersville, I better get a rebate. Huh?
Same price nationwide. We love Connersville, but we got to be fair to everybody.
Okay. All right. Well, we got that taken care of. All right.
But the biggest key to this box is that it's designed by us. I mean, Tim was a big part of that. He's the product engineer.
You know how long Tim has been doing cabinets?
Probably for over 40 years.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
He and I have gone over that, and well, that's great.
You bet.
Anything else on that cabinet you want to show me?
I'd just
Did
like
we cover it?
Yeah, we did. We really did.
Good.
Thank you.
Dan, is there anything there you want to talk about?
Excellent quality.
Yeah.
I've been up there and I've
you've been there. You've
I've
seen
been
them.
there. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I got a cabinet door on my desk, the mayor's office. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. We're gonna get some of those put into Connersville. In fact, before you came here, somebody did buy your cabinets. Did you tell me that, Tim? But someone here ordered cabinets, or close to us.
Yeah, right in the area here.
Yeah. Before we ever heard of you. Okay, let's go on here. We're going good here. When you came here and you started building these cabinets, I thought it was an undertaking that I just couldn't believe it could happen. Tim, tell us some of the things that you had to do that plant, which the public will be able to see tomorrow morning. But tell us some of the things, the tremendous things you did up there.
Well, we concentrated, of course, on the north side of the building because that's where we took occupancy. We put a demising wall in to separate the part of the building we were using. In the back area, we actually had to take off and replace the whole roof down to the purlins. And then there were some other updates and things we had to do. You remember we took down all the mezzanines on that side of the building. That took a long time to take all that stuff down. We disconnected and rewired all the utilities, all the electricity, all the plumbing, all new lighting, painted the inside of the building, tried to take some energy efficient measures with the building. We had to replace and reinstall a lot of dock doors. We're still working on getting the floor leveled up so that we can use it. We had lots of racks to install. But the demolition was probably the most challenging part because that's where the most surprises were.
Yeah.
It was probably February before we saw the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in there a lot of times, and it was horrible. You know, I've had some people in town, and you always got the naysayers, you know. Even in our wonderful town of Connersville, we do have a few naysayers. I hate to admit it, but we do. Said, well, why did you let them salvage that stuff, sell that stuff? I said, you know, we looked at that building about salvaging the entire building. And when we did it, we'd be $1 million short that we'd have to pay out of our pocket after, because taking it apart was such a project. And you found that out. Taking it apart was a project.
Oh yeah, most certainly was.
You had cutting torches in there daily, and
lots of equipment,
Yeah.
tearing down the mezzanines and taking the equipment that was left in the ceiling. There was a lot of residual piping, plumbing, things like that in the ceiling that we had to remove.
and the people will see tomorrow when they go through that building, clear span from the floor to the ceiling now, made it into a cabinet, a furniture company, like you wanted it. And you had a lot of, I'm going to use the word guts to try it. I didn't realize that until I saw what happened. And you really did. You had a vision. You could see what was going to happen there. You and Andy and the boys had a vision. You knew what you could do there. Because there were times I didn't know if you knew what you were doing. When that stuff was all in a great big rubble in the middle of the floor.
There were days when I wondered that also.
Yeah.
Me too. Just about Tim, though, not the building.
But you know, once we committed, we had to keep plugging, and,
Yeah.
and of course, you know, we came down here. I came down here full time right after Christmas. You know, we'd had a lot of time before that, and just had to keep the crew moving and everybody going. And we had a lot of cooperation. It was really phenomenal. People in town opening up their houses to me and helping out. I was really grateful for all of that. And it would just allowed me to spend a lot more time on this project and do what we had to do. Plus, you know, our team in Minnesota who took up a lot of the slack by, you know, making up things for me being gone. So we all worked together on it very hard, very hard.
There was one shocking thing. I had one of my selling points to Tim when I was trying to talk him coming here. I said, Tim, we get 1 inch or 2 of snow a year. Once in a great while it touches zero. Hardly, get below zero is very unusual here. This winter was not just your regular winter. And a few times he reminded me of that. We had about 13 days when it got below zero. We plowed snow day after day after day. That's unusual here. And of course, I know up in Minnesota, it was more unusual than that, because as the UP of Michigan on the lake that I have my home on, there were 29 inches of ice, and then normally maybe 18, 19 inches of ice. They were shortcutting across the lake to get to town. They didn't have to ride the roads. They had so much ice. But it was an unusual winter, Tim, and I promise you it won't be that bad anymore. But I understand you got to go back to Minnesota.
Yes, a couple of weeks we'll be going back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm almost done. I mean, I'll be back. I'll be in and out on a regular basis. But you know, it's interesting you say that, because you know, one of our challenges was getting the break room ready, and the roofing company came in and started talking, and they said, okay, we're going to start installing the roof January 9th. And I said, you know, I thought that was surprising to me that they'd be able to get on the roof that quick. And he goes, oh no, the weather's not that bad here. Unless it gets really cold or we get a lot of snow, we'll be just fine. And I think probably 3 or 4 days later, we were below zero with 5 or 6 inches of snow, or 4 inches of snow. And then it just kept going from there. So
It just went from bad to worse. But I have seen, I'll be honest with you, years, we have a truck over at the funeral home with a plow. I've seen years we didn't put it on. Very unusual this year. Are things rolling smoothly up there now? Everything going real smooth?
we're really going pretty well now. We've got most of our crew together. Training has worked out very well, and our production flow is getting together. All of our equipment's in, and I'm really happy with the way things are going right now.
Yeah. I know the people are interested. I talked to your HR person today, and you tell me, how many are working up there today? How many people are working in the plant today?
We have 96, I think, in there today.
Folks, did you hear that? 96 jobs we didn't have a year ago. And when I walk through that plant, people come out and shake my hand. A lot of them come out and hug me, tell me it's the greatest place they ever worked. They love it. Now, you're going to find an old sorehead that didn't want to get up on time and get into work, or didn't measure up to what Tim thought they ought to, or somebody else. But as a general rule, when I walk through that plant, they tell me how great they are to work for. And that's something. And Dan, you've been up there with me at least 3-4 times. What do you feel when you go through that plant? Dan too.
Dan too.
Dan Parker.
That's me.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I think one of the great things is that you can look over on that south side and see how it was. And it was bad. I mean, 'cause they've kind of left one part of it the way it was. And you look over on the north side where they've taken that mezzanine out. It's a transformation. The whole building it looks like you're in a new building. If you didn't know where you were at, you would swear you were in a new building. And their finish room, that paint room, is the floor on it it's all clean. I mean, it's state of the art. It's really nice. You can tell that they're here for the long haul, and that's what we really, really wanted, was somebody here for the long haul.
That's right. That's right. Jay, don't we have another video we want to use here?
Sure. You know, one of the things that's going to drive our growth, and we kind of paused our marketing in 2013 when we ran out of room to make more cabinets, and so we bought this building to start increasing that capacity. So now that we have this up and running and at full production, we're back to marketing at a full rate now. And so, you know, one of the things we've done here in the last month is we started advertising in HGTV and the DIY network, and we could show that commercial that we've been running.
I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Are we ready back there, Joy?
You'll get factory direct savings up to 55% less than home store prices with designer features, all plywood construction, even soft close dovetail drawers. Plus, take the Click Studios challenge to compare any competitor quote and see the quality you can get for thousands less. Only at clickstudios.com. That's click with a Q, studios.com. The designer kitchen you buy online.
I think when you look at things like that and you see that quality product, I am so proud that that's being made. You know, for years and years in Connersville, we were an automotive place pretty much. And when I came here in 1966, almost 50 years ago now, a young boy, I was only 23 years old when I came here. I thought I could start a funeral business here. And I was so dumb, I actually did it. And had I thought it over, I would have said, no, I'll stay away from that. But anyway, I did it. I can say that now after 50 years. But you could quit D&M. We made dishwashers. Did you know this was the largest dishwasher company in the world in Connersville, Indiana? Where Ivy Tech is, that was the dishwasher company. They made Kelvinator, they made the Sears, Lady Kenmore, they were all made here. And hundreds, maybe 1,000 people worked there. 3 shifts a day pushed dishwashers out the door. Right up the street we had the Ford plant, 5,000, one year in today. That was a Ford plant. 5,000 people, that big parking lot was full every day, 3 shifts a day, making the radiator for the Ford and the Lincoln, the Mercury. We had a foundry making transmissions, McQuay Norris. We had a casket company, largest in the United States, called Connersville Casket. They invented the Conner seal, one of the first glassless sealer caskets. And we had a company that made panels, building panels, H.H. Robertson, shipped to the South Pole and the North Pole to build buildings. They were sandwich panels. You'll still see a lot of those panels on buildings around here that were seconds. And many other smaller businesses. Some of the ones we still have today, Stant Manufacturing, gas cap with a big red Stant on it. This is the home office. This is where it was born and bred, right here in this town. The blower company, born and bred right here. It was born here. Major companies. But over the last, I'd say 15 years, we've lost about 11,000 of those industrial, automotive connected jobs. There was a furniture factory here at one time. There was a piano company here. There was a company that made safes. And now we've made the full circle. We've gone automotive and we've come right back to furniture with your company coming in here and producing that fine piece of wood furniture. So why wouldn't it be successful, right? Why wouldn't it? If you were going to buy a new kitchen, and I guess Jay would answer this question, and you felt like you were a little afraid of buying online, not being able to go into the store and feel it and open the door and touch it and everything. I want you to give me 10 reasons why you should buy online and buy from Click Studios a beautiful kitchen.
Sure. First, the reason everyone comes to our site is they know that by going online they can save money. And
So
they
that's save money is number one.
Number one, yep. And number two, and we've asked our customers, why did you buy? Number two is quality. They want a high quality product that's going to last a long time. They don't want to have to redo their kitchen again in short term. Number three would be the designers. Really, the designers are the people that make that process work. They start with liking us for our prices, but they end up buying from us because they love the designers and they feel like they're getting, and they know they're getting the best kitchen for their money. And it meets all their needs. They love the convenience of working at home. They don't have to schedule time with a design center. They can do it in their shorts, and they can do it any time of day they want. They can send an email out. They actually do it from work sometimes.
Or a lot of times.
Anytime, including lunchtime.
Yep.
Let the boss pay for the time to pick out your kitchen, huh?
We just service them.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
At the mayor's office, I would never pick out my kitchen down there.
The other thing, a lot of people love our accessories. We have a lot of specialty cabinets.
Tell us about some of those accessories. We haven't touched on that.
Yeah, so we really popular are the organizers for like sheet pans, the spice cabinets, which I think you saw on the video. It slides in there, and it's really convenient. You can put it right next to your stove. We have a lot of drawer organizers that we offer. We also do customization. We can do glass doors on the upper cabinets. We can put the little feet on the cabinets if people like that. So we can wrap the hood range.
Yeah, I knew that. And the refrigerator too, can't you? Don't you put panels on the refrigerator?
We have a full wood shop at our facility here in Connersville that has skilled craft people that know how to make just about anything you'd ever want.
Okay. That's one thing I wanted to get in, Tim. We had the job fair. I think we had 700, did we?
Yeah, over 700.
Over 700.
Yeah.
And you told me that most of those people were good quality people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get so tired of people telling me as the mayor, say, you know, all you got's a bunch of thugs and are lazy people. But you told me they're good people, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in a lot of cases, you know, of course, in a lot of cases, we're looking for people who have background in the industry and know somewhat of what they're doing. But in a lot of instances, what we're looking for is a good work attitude. We're looking for reliability. We're looking for trainability. Sometimes in some positions, it's harder to train someone who's already done something similar before than it is just to start from scratch. And I think that commitment and that positive attitude, the willing to come in and learn something new and start doing something new and succeed at it, those are personality traits that we look for. So it's not just, you know, how much experience do you have in the kitchen cabinet industry. It's how trainable are you, how adaptable are you, what's your work ethic. Those are the things we're looking for also.
Yeah. I did supposedly a walkthrough today with Crystal. It was really a ride through in the golf cart. That's a long walkthrough.
Yeah, well, we don't all have golf carts though. You know,
I know, but I got to do that today. And I noticed the thing that really struck me. You have a lot of young people.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of young people, which is great because it's the young people. You know, a lot of the middle-aged and older people are pretty set. They got jobs and things are going pretty well. But your craft up there looked to me like they're pretty young. And you know what? In Connersville, they started the blower company in Stance with young people. Once they tried to move the blower company, they moved part of it to Texas. Guess what? They turned around and came right back because they had to have these people here that grew up. And that, you laugh at me when I tell you that blower and that technique was born and raised right here in Connersville. And that same with Stance. And now, you know, in 50 years, we probably won't be here, you know, you and I. But we'll be able to say that was born and bred right here in Connersville. Heaven knows what they'll be selling.
Mr. Mayor, one of the things I think we discovered, me and Jay were filming. I mean, one of the first things we know everything's cleaned up, ready to go. We're open for business down here. We wanted to come in and get some video of our new process and our new shiny quarter that we want to show off. And things weren't all smelling roses for Tim and his team. It was a tough road to get the plant going, and a lot of the employees had some long hours, dedicated hours, continued ongoing. And I guess when I was coming down here saying, oh, hey, we're just showing up, sorry, we're trying not to get in your way, but we need to, and how's things going? And the attitude, I guess, for me was so overwhelmingly positive, and I don't believe it was just, hey, we're happy to have a job. I think it was more than that.
They bought into it.
They're just good people that it's like, yeah, we realized we had to roll up our sleeves and get dirty, and they did.
That's what makes people successful.
Yeah.
We have a Congress named Luke Messer, very dear friend of mine. He was here yesterday, and he has a favorite saying: an inch is a cinch, a yard is hard. And when you take that philosophy in anything in life and take it an inch at a time, and that's what you've done. I kept bugging Tim right from day one after he was there a month and making cabinets. I said, when are you going to let the press in up there? Not yet, not yet. I talked to Andy, not yet, not yet. And then the press started bothering me. Why can't we go up there? We want to talk to them. They're here tonight. They'll be bugging you here in a little bit. But I said, let those guys get started. This is like a newborn baby. It's just getting formula and mother's milk. Let it get grown and start eating grown food, and then in due time. And then Andy gave me a couple of dates. He said, yeah, we'll have an open house, and we'll let the press in, we'll let the public in. All of that now has come. So what can we expect tomorrow? We're going to do a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock. We got some high-powered dignitaries coming. We have a couple of state senator, a state representative, and I think I got a couple of mayors coming. Dan will be there. He's very important. He's the economic development director. What can we expect tomorrow when we go through that plan? I know we got the tour planned. First of all, a lot of the Vistion people are going to be amazed. They say, are you sure this is the Vistion plant? What do you think? What is it we're going to see?
Well, we are going to have a tour. We're going to have some representations of the product, some of the commercials, some of the things you've seen here during the show tonight. We will have a guided tour through part of the facility. It is a manufacturing facility, so we do have to keep everybody sort of on a tour route to make everything safe for everybody. We will have, at the beginning of the tour, an open area where you can look through to the other side that we are not occupying yet and haven't updated yet, just to get a vision, sort of get a vision of what we walked into whenever we came here. And then we'll just walk around to the different departments, have a description of what we're doing, how we're doing it. And we will have representatives of each department in those departments. If someone has a question they want to ask, that they can get it answered. And just sort of show everybody what we're all about, that we are here, that we aren't just scrapping the building out and getting ready to knock it down. Is some of the things I've heard. But just to give everybody an idea of what we're doing, who we are, we have intentions of staying here. I mean, maybe we weren't born in Connersville, but we moved here when we were 4. So
you came here because you wanted to. Some people were born here, had to stay here. Yeah, it's like being adopted. You were picked because you were wanted. Down the road, you see growth and future. I know. There's some things that we can't talk about, but I know that Andy always he says, one of his favorite things is, let's look at it in 5 years, let's look at it in 10 years, let's look at it in 20 years. I said, I don't have all those years, I tried to tell my wife I was middle-aged, and she said, yeah, there's a lot of 200-year-old men walking around, But there is growth coming. I mean, you just started with bathroom cabinets, haven't you? Or were you always building them?
We always had those.
Okay.
Our growth is, we were on a great growth trajectory when we hit our capacity limitations. And so we know that we can grow. We grew basically from people just finding us on the internet. We didn't have to try real hard even to be found. It was they'd show up and they'd get their cabinets. We just ran our first TV commercial in May. And so, and we were amazed at how many people came to our website and started calling our designers just from that. And so we're very excited about what we can do. We've already doubled our capacity since we've come to Connersville, and we've only been here a short while.
That's great. And you know, I didn't realize that your company's only about 4 years old, right? This cabinet company.
We started building cabinets, and Andy started building cabinets 7 years ago. Click
7 years
Studios,
ago.
Click
Yeah.
Studios name brand is 4 years old.
Okay.
But one of those things about future products, remember this, I'm going to quote you back, Mr. Mayor. An inch is a cinch. And there's a reason that there's a lot of space out there. And build it and it will come.
Okay.
And that's what, our designers, Jay kicked it. And again, the designers are picking up what the customer's needs.
Yeah.
Talking direct.
That's
and our
right.
designers, the average experience of them are 10.5 years for each designer.
I do want to spend just a minute or two on Andy Jung. I find him to be a very humble, gentle man. Am I describing him right? I don't know him as well as you do. Very caring, never want to overpromise to me or to the city more than he can produce. He was very conservative when he told us, you know, he thought by the end of 5 years we could employ 300 and, what was it, Tim, 315, 310?
I think we did 319 or some
319,
number like
yeah.
that, yeah.
And we're already right at 100 in the first year. Of course, that's when you need the most of them, when you get started. But am I finding him that kind of individual?
He's genuine. He shoots pretty straight.
How long have you been with him?
I've been with him a year. Dan's been with him since the beginning, though.
How long you been with him, Dan?
Coming up 8 years.
8 years. And
Yep.
Tim?
4?
Well, yeah, coming up 5, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
Andy was unique. When he first approached me, it was through a former coworker in the industry, and I didn't want to have anything to do with what he was doing. But you meet him, and you realize there's a trust factor, but you always have some reservation. And he has delivered on every single promise. And some of those promises haven't been a bed of roses, but it's the truth, and it is what it is. And he is very genuine, and he keeps his word.
Now, folks, that's the kind of person that's running the company up here. He's in charge. You've heard it from the people that work for him. I've heard it from the people that are on the floor. Dan, you keep pointing at your...
Well,
did I miss something?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Leonard Urban, my
Yeah.
friend, I wanted to just make a point that the people of Connersville have really embraced this company. I went around to distribute flyers in all the businesses, and while I did that, I kind of got a weird idea that we could give away some prizes up there if these merchants wanted to, contribute. They came to the party. They really did. They were eager to give, and some of them gave quite a bit.
Now, this is tomorrow, folks. Dan's got a special box up there. It's painted black. I saw it today, and he's got a lock on it.
Well, let me tell you, this is some of the ones who gave.
Okay.
Mancino's, Save-A-Lot Grocery Store, Pizza Hut, Hardee's, Long John Silver's, McDonald's, Great Clips, Papa John's Pizza, Southern Style Restaurant, J.C. Penney, Tractor Supply, Walmart, Kroger's, Brockman's, Showtime Cinema. We're going to give away some movie passes, and Lila Graphics, Printing and Signs. They were all eager to give.
Now, when are you going to do this? Every hour? Or?
We're going to do it during the 4 hours. We're
Okay.
going to just.
You're gonna
We
pull
got
a
so
name.
much to give away. We're going to be giving stuff away from probably the beginning right to the end.
So when you come up tomorrow, you can put your ticket in the
Yep.
box,
Yep.
and we
Some
pull
nice
those
gifts.
tickets. Now,
Very
see,
nice.
this is your neighbors all around you that are welcoming you, giving these things away. They're so pleased that you're here. And I have business people that have considered putting new restaurants here, and Tim and I, we'd like to have a nice big fancy steakhouse here. We'd like to have this or a Red Lobster or something. But because you're here, people are considering those things. So you're helping other people. And Andy has put confidence in this town. He sent you good guys down here to get this job done. And I think it's a cinch now that it's going. And there wasn't much hope there a month before we met Tim. There wasn't much hope. It was an empty building, cold, and in another few years would have had to be taken down. It was deteriorating.
Definitely.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. So before we close tonight, we only got a few minutes. Tell me what's on your heart, Dan One.
What's on my heart is the appreciation of Connersville.
Good.
They've given us this opportunity, and I know we're down here, we're happy expanding our business, but the welcoming, what Dan 2 was related to, is appreciation.
Good. See, folks, it makes a difference when you treat our new people good. They expand and we do better. Jay, what's on your heart tonight?
I want to thank all the people at Connersville. I think it's been so affirming. The reception we received here, it really just tells us we came to the right town.
That makes me feel good. Yeah. And Tim, last but not least, you've been here the longest and you've had the hardest road to climb.
It's been hard, but it's been enjoyable. There's been a lot of achievements we've had. My wife and I have been down here for 6 months straight now. Made a lot of friends. There's a lot of people we're going to miss whenever we leave. You know, and I'm sure this is as bad as it was this winter. I think next winter in Minnesota is going to be a lot worse. But yeah, I want to thank everybody here, including you, your staff, all the help you've given us. Everybody in town, how positive they've been, and how supportive they've been to us, and you know, and all the friends we've made since we've been here. I think we're going to miss a lot of people whenever we leave.
Yeah, that's a good testimony, Tim. I appreciate it. You know, there's not very often anybody says very nice things about the mayor. People say, "What do you do?" I run the largest complaint department in the city. My wife will say to me occasionally, "Is there anything good about being mayor?" And I have to think, and then I think, and I say, "Oh, it'll look good in my obituary." You know, we're down to 2 minutes tonight. Tomorrow we're going to have a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock up at the old Vistion plant, now the Wayzata plant. I would invite everybody in this community to come up. I asked Dan today how many cookies we got. I think he's got over 1,000 cookies. I don't know how many gallons of punch he's got, but we want you to have some cookies and punch with us. It's going to run from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. We've got our Chamber of Commerce staff, we've got our Economic Development Group, and we've got some of our politicians that will be up there. They'll be showing you around under the instruction of Mr. Tim. You'll be able to ask questions, see the product, see the plant, and we certainly invite you to come. I would ask that all of you tomorrow be gracious to our people. They've been good to us. They've come from Minnesota and started a new business here, and we'll be forever grateful. So until next time when we say Connersville Speaks, I'm here as the mayor to tell you good night and to thank my friends from Minnesota for being here and move more people down. And good night to all.
There's a new way to shop for kitchen cabinets called clickstudios.com. You'll get factory direct savings up to 55% less than home store prices with designer features, all plywood construction, even soft close dovetail drawers. Plus, take the Click Studios challenge to compare any competitor quote and see the quality you can get for thousands less. Only at clickstudios.com. That's click with a Q, studios.com. The designer kitchen you buy online.